The T24 wedge is grain flow forged 1025 boron. The reason why it's grain flow forged and why that's so critically important is, particularly if you're playing forged irons, is to have that continuity of feel from your iron set to your wedges. Because this is grain flow forged, you're going to have that feel. The closer you get to the green, the more you have to be in sync with your wedges. And that requires having the right bounce and having the right grind, because one of the best ways to increase spin is clean contact. And to have clean contact, you need to have the appropriate turf interaction. That's why we have kind of reconfigured our grinds. We've added an additional grind in the kind of lob wedge lofts and did some things with heel relief and toe relief to really kind of help with that turf interaction. The new V grind was definitely something that we felt like was missing within the T22 lineup. The initial thought behind the V grind was really looking at what was in our tour players' bags and what kind of special grinds they had done. And we noticed this kind of popping up a lot. High bounce on the front, or mid to high bounce on the front, and very aggressive toe, heel, and trailing edge relief. And this gives that player who needs a little bit of higher bounce a great deal of versatility. Your game is going to have a bounce requirement, right? And a lot of that is driven by angle of attack and hand placement through impact, like how the sole is relative to the ground. So you're going to need a certain bounce in order to use go through the turf properly and execute the shot. But then you have to decide, like, how much relief do I want? So if you want a lot of relief for versatility, have a higher bounce requirement, you're going to go with the V grind. If you want a lot of versatility but you need a lower bounce requirement, then you're going to go with the X grind. The T24 compared to the T22, there are certain things you can do to make it appear more compact without losing that same face area. And one way is to take this hosel transition from the top line, you take that to a little bit lower point. And another way that you can make the top line look a little bit shorter is to take a little bit of meat off this top toe there. So by doing that, you're not only kind of accentuating that teardrop shape, you're also making it appear a little bit more compact. Throughout the entire family of wedges, we increased the heel relief a lot. And how we did that was we took this grind and we wrapped it around the heel area more aggressively, and we wrapped it around the toe more aggressively on certain grinds. They all have the more aggressive heel. When you look at the grinds throughout the family, they kind of increase in aggressiveness as you go from the S grind, which is a straight bevel with heel relief, to the D grind, which has toe and heel relief with a little bit wider bevel on the trailing edge. And then you go to the C grind, which that's when you start to see like a little bit more aggressive relief. And then the new V grind. The V grind, which I'm holding in my hand here, is an interesting combination of very aggressive relief, but it has kind of medium to high bounce on it, so that those are kind of working together to kind of create a extremely versatile wedge with a little bit higher effective bounce. And then finally the X grind, which is our most aggressive grind, but it also has low bounce. So that low bounce plus the aggressive grind makes that probably the most versatile wedge in terms of executing specialty shots around the green. Going all the way back to 2010, the groove roll change, we've always done kind of a loft-specific groove. On the stronger lofts, we have a narrower and deeper groove, which is more suited towards a full swing. On the higher lofts, we actually have a wider and shallower groove, which lends itself more to partial swings. Like as you get closer to the green, being able to get good bite on the ball, a wider and shallower groove is actually more effective. So what we've done with the T24, we've actually reconfigured our grooves. It's the same exact principle, but by studying the groove shoulder and the groove taper, on the groove profile, we were able to figure out a way that we could decrease the cross-sectional area of the groove, which allowed us to decrease the spacing between the grooves within the rules of USGA and